Hey guys, good morning. Actually, more like good afternoon. I'm starting this vlog a little bit later than normal, but welcome back to my channel. My name is Kanessa Carey if you're new. Today I'm super excited for this vlog because I'm going to be showing you some of my self-care routine. So for me, self-care is like super important. I kind of adopted self-care throughout like my experience with therapy, but as I've gotten older and as I've been out of therapy for quite a while now, my self-care routine has just kind of like changed over time, and it looks different every day, it looks different every weekend, but self-care is super important for me, especially during the week, but also on the weekend. But Saturday is usually my like main day of self-care, and it's actually one of my favorite days of the week because I just kind of get to catch up on everything. I get to clean our apartment, and I get to just do things that I don't always have time for during the week. Self-care is something that I don't just practice on the weekend, but I actually practice every single day. It just always looks different, so maybe I'll make a video of like self-care throughout the week. But today I'm going to be a little bit more elaborate on my self-care than normal just because I haven't done so for a while. It's just something I feel like I need, so I thought I would film it. So I'm going to be sharing just like my self-care routine, just like what that looks like on a weekend. So today is the only day that I have off that my husband does not have off. So it's nice just because I get the day to just clean and do what I need to do. I would much rather have him here though. It is always a bummer when we like our days off don't go together, but I like it also because I get to serve him and I get to have him come home to a very clean house, and then that way he doesn't have to do as much cleaning on his days off. It makes me feel good, it makes him feel good. I'm just like happy to serve him. So that is kind of like the routine that we've gotten in. So today is that day for me. Usually on Saturdays I do all my cleaning, I get a nice workout in, and I get like lots of laundry and all my self-care stuff done. So that is what we're going to do. I had a dentist appointment this morning, which was really weird because I've never been to the dentist on a Saturday, but that's just when my appointment was supposed to be. So I went and did that. And then I went to my parents' house. They have like a little home gym in the garage, and so I went and worked out there. I didn't film any of that just because I didn't really feel like it, but I did already get a nice workout in today, which was a part of my self-care routine. So that's something that's very important to me just for like my mental health and my physical health. So now I'm just gonna like go through my day like normal. So this is my Saturday self-care routine. Hey guys, so first things first, I needed to do a lot of laundry this day, so I got that all set up and ready to go. My little kitten Ziggy here is trying to help me out, but he's just making more of a mess than I was, but that is what I got started on first. And then one of my favorite things to do is to diffuse essential oils literally any time of day, but especially when I am cleaning. Here I just used some lavender essential oils and I was ready to go. Then next I decided to take a bath. I added some Epsom salt into the bath just because my knee has been hurting and my hip has been hurting, so just kind of to alleviate that pain and just relax my muscles a little bit. I took a nice warm bath before I got started with the rest of my self-care. Next, I decided to do a face mask, which I use this charcoal black face mask, which I absolutely love. I use it pretty much every single time I do a face mask. It just helps the impurities to really come out of my skin, especially those like pesky little blackheads that are just so annoying. So as you can see, I'm putting that all around my face, and then I'm going to let it dry probably for about 15 to 20 minutes. It always seems to take longer than I expect, but it does a trick, so I continue doing it anyways. And then now I'm just peeling it off and getting those little impurities out of my face, which always feels super nice. And then right after, I actually took a shower because I felt like I bathed in my own filth, so that is what we did. And then I'm just using a normal Target brand face lotion. Nothing special, I am no guru, as you can probably tell. Next, I really like using a very minimal amount of this Primally Pure body butter. I have 3 different kinds, but the one I am using in this video is almond plus vanilla. I absolutely love it. And then I'm just using a regular lotion for the rest of my extremities, particularly like my upper arms and my legs. As you can see here, I was in a very funky mood this day, so enjoy, you're welcome. I just use the body butter on just my arms just a little bit because I really like the smell. It's very soothing. And then I'm also using a Primally Pure deodorant. It is lavender and it smells delicious. And then this is also a Primally Pure chapstick. I have a few, but this one is peppermint. It's probably one of my favorites. I use it most often when my husband is not around because he does not like peppermint. nor does he like when I'm wearing chapstick. So we moisturize when he is not around. And then next, I just decided I needed to do something about my hair before it got too dry. I'm using this Prep Rally Prime and Prep Detangler. It is one of my favorites. I absolutely love the smell. It is by Dry Bar. 10 out of 10, would recommend. And then I'm just combing my hair out, doing all the normal hair routine things. But then I just kind of fluff it out a little bit because I don't like it flat on my head. And then I blow dried my hair, which you didn't see. But we all know what blow drying our hair looks like. I just did a light blow dry. This time I did not fully blow dry my hair just because I kind of wanted it to just do its own thing, and it ends up being kind of wavy. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then I decided I needed to start cleaning in the kitchen. So I started with the dishes and got those all done and put away, which always feels really nice because dishes left in the sink is one of my pet peeves. So I always try to stay as on top of those as I can. The next thing that I do after I clean the dishes, I usually do this at least a couple times a week, is I take this mixture that is just baking soda and essential oils, and I just sprinkle it on the sink, and then I let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I take this brush and I scrub it and just rinse it off. It really helps to just clean the sink, but also to leave it smelling fresh. Usually I use citrus scented essential oils just because it is in the kitchen and I love the smell of those. Next, I decided that I needed to do a little bit of reading and journaling. Currently, I'm reading through the book of Proverbs and I'm really loving it so far. And then I took a book that I actually received from my therapist before we ended our sessions earlier this year. And it's a book that she gave me just about mindfulness and just taking care of yourself. And then I did a little bit of journaling. Last on the to-do list was to finish some laundry. Finally, it was done and I was folding it. My cat was definitely helping me, and he is definitely the star of the show here. He was being really silly and just wanted to play. As you can see, he is a little crazy. So basically, there's a lot of things that I did not show you. I ended up cleaning the entire apartment, but that would be super boring to watch, and it would make for a very long video. So I spared you all the boredom and just showed you a little bit of my self-care routine for the day. Hey guys, so thank you so much for following along with my self-care routine. It looks different every Saturday. Like, I don't always take a bath, but I've been having a lot of knee pain and a lot of hip pain just because of previous surgeries, and sometimes I don't know like when to stop. I just did that just because I felt like I needed a little extra TLC on my hip and my knee, so I just put some like Epsom salt in my bath, which always helps me, so that should be good. Yeah, so I just like a little bit more background on like self-care. For me, self-care is not always like bougie and a bunch of pampering. Sometimes self-care for me is literally just getting some sort of movement in for the day outside of my job. So if that's working out or going to the gym or going on a run or getting just like some type of movement in, like for example going on a walk with my husband after we eat dinner or something like that. Sometimes it's as simple as like taking a hot shower at the end of the day and listening to music, or just taking time for myself. Self-care for me has looked different over the years, and it's just something that I've kind of like learned what works for me, but I always try to get like some form of self-care in each day. So whatever self-care works for you works for you. It's not always bath bombs and, you know, face masks. Sometimes it's literally just like taking care of yourself and maybe like reading a book or listening to one song in your free time. Or like for example, something I do almost every single day is I have a to-do list on my phone where I can just check things off as I get them done. That helps me stay like organized, but it also helps like for me mentally to not get like too overwhelmed by the amount of things that I have to do. So self-care is literally just finding things that work for you and help you care for yourself. And sometimes it's as simple as a to-do list, or it's as elaborate as having a whole day of pampering yourself. Self-care looks different every single day, and it looks different for everyone. So I hope you guys enjoyed my self-care Saturday routine. It is not over since I'm going to do my nails. Yeah, so I'm not here to like oversimplify self-care or make it like extra dramatic. This is just what self-care looked like for me today, and I feel really good about it. It helps, especially when I know that I have a full week of work coming up, to just like have a day to like unwind, do what I want to do what I need to do, and just like take care of myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.